having these guys fully understand, what this season is going to hold for us, what the expectation is, and it's not about what's happening outside. I read a paper the other day. I was on a plane coming back from Arizona. Opened up USA Today, and there was an article about the top 128 teams like in the country, and we were 113. And I felt very disrespected. I felt in talking with my football team, but nobody really understands what we're doing here on West End. But it's about time that we show the world. So that's coming fast enough. But we get a chance now. I'm going to go to camp, take care of the fundamentals and details of what you have to do. I'm going to be a good football team in this conference. And what it gets back to for me and this football team is making sure we don't beat ourselves. So I'm excited about quarterback, offense, defense, special teams. I think we've upgraded in all areas, and I really look forward to seeing this team, set about the work that needs to be done. So with that being said, then I'll go ahead and open it up.
Derek, continuity. You've got same head coach, same defensive coordinator, same offensive coordinator, same strength and conditioning coach, even same quarterback. How much does that help you guys?
Tremendously. When you talk about confidence, continuity, this is a football team that's had to grow up a little bit, and with the 24 months that have passed, we started to see leaders emerge. We started to see identities emerge, and all those things are important when you're talking about trying to create culture. This football team believes in each other. The chemistry is good, extremely good. It starts with the quarterback, and what he sees, and how he goes about his business. Then it sort of permeates through this team a little bit. And when I look at what we've been able to do on offense, on defense, and on special teams, the leaders, that have emerged have done a really good job of just making sure that this team does not fall short. So, we know and understand what's out there, but for us, it's just about the day-to-day grind that gets us, from one day to the next and makes us one day better. And, that's going to come over the next 30 days, so let's get ready.
Derek, kind of a hot topic right now is you guys are allowed to retweet recruits. Is it, some coaches are looking back years of we're going to retweet anything this guy's ever tweeted in his life. Others are retweeting major announcements. How can you tell if that makes any difference one way or the other to a recruit?
You know what? We just have to be careful nowadays, man, that we don't put these recruits on such a pedestal that what happens is they have an unrealistic expectation of what's happening when they come here. I tell recruits all the time as they go through this process, it's a great roller coaster ride, enjoy the ride. But when you sign on signing day, you get to the end of the line and you still got to work your way back to the front. So, with that being said, I think it's important that you follow your recruits, you make sure that you give your guys love. But let's make sure that we don't create unrealistic expectations for when these guys actually sign or get to campuses, man, because what happens there is that becomes a distraction. We can't get to the football because they're still stuck in La La Land.
You've said already that you're going to give a little contact to the quarterbacks, hit them a little, wrap them up, I guess. What will they get out of that? Why do you want to do that a little bit?
It's about pressure. It's about feeling pressure. It's about understanding that internal clock that has to go on inside a quarterback's head as to when to let the ball go. In this conference, we've got great pass rushers, and so but to be able to feel pressure, know and understand that the ball's got to get out of your hands, and more than anything else, make good decisions with it. What does that look like? Sometimes it may be just getting outside the box and throwing it out of bounds, and other times it may be having to take a sack. But the thing that we don't want to do is make sure that we don't give it away to the other team by just throwing it up for grabs. And so just getting those guys a good feel as to what's going on around them, spatial awareness, that's what the contact is for. And believe me, it's not contact to the ground, it's just letting those guys feel the bump, okay, and understanding exactly what's going on while still protecting the quarterback, because we all know we have to stay off quarterbacks' arms.
You've had quarterback competition and at times controversy in your first couple of years. To have a guy set going into fall camp, how big of an advantage is that?
It's huge. It's huge for this football team. It's huge for us. To understand where our leadership is coming from, to understand what the reps look like, to understand that we have quarterback depth, okay, and guys understanding their roles. That's part of football. Somebody's got to be a 1, somebody's got to be a 2. But for us, it's just about let's make sure, man, that we're all pushing this thing in the right direction, and that This isn't a day-to-day process. I'm not worried about if Kyle has a bad day here or a bad day there. That's part of playing football. Football is an imperfect game played by imperfect players. And so what we have to do is take the good with the bad. I want to see that guy have more good days than he does bad. But I think from this team's psyche, confidence, and really believability in that position, it had to start early. And, for us, it started this summer.
What did Kyle show you to earn that level of confidence, and how much of it was throughout the offseason versus what he showed in the last few games last season?
I think his offseason has been consistent. And you know what? I mean, if you're looking for a guy that has talent, that's going to be a winner for you, he has to be consistent. He has to make good decisions. He has to show that he can lead men. What he showed in season was just that. He got better every time he touched the field. He got better every time he played the game. And I think there's no better judge of what a guy can do than game reps, game situations. And for me, when I look at his body of work versus everybody else's body of work, it wasn't even close. So with what he's done during the offseason, with what he's been able to do in terms of leading the guys around him and making this team better and accountable for the work that we have to do, he set the bar or really met the expectation. And I definitely expect him to set the bar for how we played this season. So a lot's riding on his shoulders, but you know what? That's part of that position. There's a lot of pressure on him.
Derek, I think you're in the top 2 or 3 maybe in terms of both returning starters and Letterman. Have you seen that manifest itself in terms of better leadership among your players?
Yes, I look at the growth of this football team. I look at the maturity. I look at where we're at, and I'm excited because we've gone 24 months without any major incidents off the field. And I've always said this: if you can minimize the outside stress, you can maximize the on-field performance. If I can eliminate the distractions, we can get about the business of playing football. But part of that's growing up, part of that's leadership, part of that's expectation, and part of that's just understanding what it is to be a Vanderbilt man. And all those things take time.
Coach, you've been at programs, I'm sure, that open with kind of the traditional model of a non-conference game or maybe an FCS team.
Right.
Andy, a lot of the time, is open with an SEC game. Does that add some pressure coming out of camp to be hitting on cylinders as compared to the reality of sometimes you come out and you've got a game where you can make some mistakes and still win a game? You've got a little, maybe some cushion.
I love that pressure for this team. Again, we're in year 3. I'm not saying we're year 5, but we're in year 3. And pressure is part of this conference, it's part of this game. And so, to open up with South Carolina is exactly what this team needs. Let's test this team early. Let's play well early. Let's show everybody what we believe. And there's no better. We can talk about it all we want to. We can sit here and say, man, this football team's better, quarterback's better, defense is going to play well, special teams is going to be much improved. But you know what? We get a chance to do it on a national stage in Nashville. And I believe I've got a football team that's representative of Nashville. Nashville being a young, vibrant city as to what's happening. Everybody wants to be here. It's a place to be. It's a great market. This team is representative of the SEC and how hard it is to win in this conference. This team has been hardened, and they've had to go through a lot, and they've grown up together. But more than anything else, I think it's truly reflective of the Nashville community, the Vanderbilt community that's around here. Everybody's just trying to wait and see exactly what this team's going to be. I know what it's going to be. This team knows what it's going to be. And so what we got to do now is just get to work. We're going to open up these practices, let you guys come see what this team is, let you see how we work, and let you, evaluate this team and make your own opinions about who we are and what we're going to get done.
Say you know what this team is going to be. What is this in your eyes? What's this team?
I'll let you see.
Well, what's your opinion? What's yours?
My opinion of this football team is that we're seasoned and we're ready to play. We're going to be a much improved football team. What that looks like, I can't tell you. I'm just trying to get better every day. And here's what I do know. In this conference, man, you can't beat yourself. And if we do exactly what I see us doing, we're not going to beat ourselves. You're going to see some great football being played, offense, defense, and special teams. And this Nashville community is going to be excited to come watch Vanderbilt, play in Vanderbilt Stadium.
Derek, you've now got a 5-man team that handles recruiting basically. Just speak to that and how that improves you guys as a program.
You know what? These guys have done a great job. It's good to get Austin have brought Austin into the fold. Austin's a Nashville native, played for me at Ohio University, so I know Austin well. He took us to our first bowl game in 25 years at Ohio University. Then he went to Nebraska, and did a terrific job with both. Went to 7 straight bowl games, and then decided to actually turn his attention to the NFL. And so to get a guy at the top that's been around me, that understands Nashville, it's just a great fit. Okay, I mean, he understands big time football, so truly excited about that. But everybody else around him, man, they're all great fits. They all have different personalities. They bring different things to the table. Whether I'm talking about Corey Phillips, Danielle White, Eric Lammers, and Andrea Kane's been here forever. So I think she's the rock of the group, and she understands how this ship is built and what needs to be done. But it's just been, in my estimation, it's just been very, very intelligent on our part to try to make sure that we got the right people in place to find the right kids that fit Vanderbilt, the right prospective student athletes that can play here, that can make gains in the classroom, and that can actually compete in the SEC. So I'm extremely excited about this recruiting team. It's already paid dividends, and we had a great June. We now look to spread this thing into August, and let's see exactly where we're going to go. And with having some recruiting spots left, I'm patient now. I've slowed this train way down. I'm not about just trying to get guys just to say we filled up a recruiting class. I'm about getting the right fit. And if we're going to play great football, then great talent's going to come. So let's save some room for some great players, and let's see exactly what that yields for us.